All right, let me show you how Tim Heidecker goes about accusations. See, I learn. I watch, I learn. These other guys ain't at home watching enough. I watch all the podcasts, so I know exactly what to say to you guys to get out of stuff. Just like Andrew Callahan. This is office hours, a very special office hours. I wish I could know what's really going on here with Tim, But I would say, imagine this was you, though. You just put out a documentary. So Tim Heidecker and Vic Berger's label, they produced the documentary for HBO, and they're working with Callahan. It comes out, it was a mid-success. And then the day after, they're accusing the guy that you work with. I mean, that's what I mean. It's like, that's what I mean about Salvo. Horrible. It's like, Salvo, you let me promote you, and then you do all this stuff. And it's like, Andrew, you let Tim Heidecker promote you. You have this great opportunity, and then you do all this stuff to disgrace him, and he's against this stuff. Like, how do you do that? It's stupid, nigga. Which was the name of the doc. All right, watch this. Here is how Tim handles one of his friends being investigated for abuse. I love abuse. Watch this. You're going to love it. January 6th is dead, they're saying. I love January 6th. It's a very funny holiday.
Did you go to 55 seconds?
Oh, okay. So this is... and I'll tell you, and it was so funny. I've always stuck by Tim Heidecker. Everybody started hating him for his anti-Trump stuff. But to me, he's just so funny. I love everything that he's done is like the perfect character to me. So I've said he's just got... There's not a lot of comedians or people in comedy who, to me, bring enough comedic value to overlook online whining. And Tim did. And I think he got past that. And I think people should give Tim a chance.
I agree.
Don't worry about his tweets. He should just never tweet. But listen to this. This is funny. Very funny. The accused, the victims, and me.
Good morning. Good. Oh boy, I should have taken a sip of water. Good.
I love this.
Good morning, everybody. It is, let's see, January 12th.
So yeah, I remember this is what I was going to do, word for word, opening the show today. But it was too long. I would have done this if it was sooner after the Salvo thing. But imagine if I said all this.
It's 10 a.m. The weather is crisp and cool. Listen, I wanted to start the show today to just acknowledge these Andrew Callahan allegations.
And we were like, yes, because we weren't sure. I mean, these were just these girls posted on TikTok. Everybody was kind of trying to shove them off. It was very hard to get anybody. People sent this to Hassan. They sent it to Ethan right away. Every friend of Callahan didn't want to talk about this. They wanted to just not believe it was possible. They had promoted him all month. Andrew Callahan was just on everyone's stream and everyone's show promoting that Jan 6 doc on HBO. They were such friends. My good friend, Andrew Callahan. 2 days later, the exposures start coming out.
I mean, that's pretty crazy to go from the highest point of your career to
that's
the
why it's so
lowest
good.
In, one day.
Yes. I mean
imagine.
Highest point of his career.
So happy. He's
really on the path, and he was going to do bigger things from there. That would have been, as much as people didn't like that doc or whatever, he would have gone up and up and up on that path. And for this to happen right after, and, I was just given the Salvo Me Too. I was given a Chris D'Elia doc. And then this comes. There were some other rumblings. I'll show you some other guys, too. And I just thought this was so cool. And we were awaiting. And what's so special about this was the first one where we go, okay, yeah, he's done. If Tim's going to come out, that was what we were waiting for. It's kind of like what that guy said about me. Mike Redbar's word will be the final word. Well, when Tim Heidecker comes out, this is the guy who works with Andrew. If he says no, then no means no, right, Andrew? who apologized. He's in a psych ward. We'll show you that. But watch this. This is great. Here.
I've asked Doug and Vic to step out because I didn't want them sitting behind me, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to look. But
this is important. Like, how did you build yourself on the internet, and how did you get into this position? I'll take a guy like Tim. He doesn't have to be doing these serious things. And a lot of people don't quite know how they're supposed to handle when something gets a little serious. Breaks their whole thing.
Someone in the chat just said, I don't know, Hassan immediately covered it and was pretty negative about Andrew. And it's like, no.
Oh, it was pulling teeth. You had to have about 15,000 Hassan fans put him to the test for 2 days until Hassan finally, at the end of his show, said something. Trust me, we had our eyes on this story from start to finish.
The whole time he was talking about it, he was just talking about how hard it is for young men.
Oh yeah, he made excuses
to know when they're getting consent.
Yeah, he made excuses saying when you mix alcohol and young awkward men, they just don't really know. So
he knows.
We got to just reteach men.
How about this rule? If you're making a doc for HBO, just know.
Yeah, just know. And it doesn't matter if you're an awkward nerd. Don't go near the girls. I mean, you just got to know. And here's the thing. It's not everybody. You don't got to worry that it's going to happen to you because it only happens to creeps. So if you're a creep, a lot of people are worried about this because they think, well, I was advancing on a ton of chicks. Millions. Are they going to one day just come out with the truth? They might if you're a horrible creep. It's just the same thing. It's like how Vic Berger goes after these racists online. It's not because they're saying the words. It's because they're bad guys. So when people come after, and Hassan actually tried to shut down a lot of this argument down because people were coming out with stories about Andrew's character, which Hassan said were irrelevant. People will come out and they'll be like, dude, when Andrew's partying and he drinks, his eyes go dark. And they're like, okay, we don't need unless this is an account from a victim on record, we don't need to hear all those. And it's like, yes, you do.
It's all
And
anecdotes.
they whine and they keep complaining that none of that matters and nothing matters
if these
more.
Little stories aren't 100% true. They're painting a picture of this guy's character.
We'll show you. We'll show you. I'm telling you, people fight tooth and nail. It's the same thing you saw with Chris D'Elia, and the same reason why you don't see Brendan Schaub and all these people coming out to Chris. It's just too much of a job for them, and they want to make excuses, and they don't want to look like they made a stupid mistake and that they're dumb. But it's really not as dramatic as you need to make it, Tim, or all these people. It's it really isn't. Doesn't need to be this dramatic, okay? But watch how Tim does it. This is very funny. And then we'll show you some Hassan. We'll show you some Klein. Because I think this stuff's very important to see.
I don't have the Hassan stuff.
You don't?
Sorry.
Interesting. Okay.
I also want to apologize for not speaking about this, for any of us speaking about this. I think, it's been a very painful week for us and very difficult experience to process it, and we didn't want to just rush out and say something that felt insincere or,
you see the position all these people are in? This is why I don't do any of this funny business. This is why you can't. And, you got to understand, he doesn't want to you can't all just be like Josh Denny. We're like, just tell everyone to fuck up. He wants to make movies. He wants to be on TV. Is that so bad? He wanted to do this. You got to give up his whole life. So yes, he has to take it a little seriously here because it does affect him. You can't be working with a guy like that. Your name's all over the news like that. So it is a little bit different for Tim, huh? But isn't it a shame? Isn't it a shame that they got to go through this? Why, again, this is my original point. I don't mingle with anybody. Why go through this? What I'm doing is much easier, folks.
crisis person told us what to say kind of thing. That I don't think that's helpful. And we just want to wrap our heads around it and talk about it and try to understand it more. But of course, we're aware of the allegations. We take them very seriously, and it's just been very sad and just disappointing to say the least. I just want to clarify a couple things. We have no professional relationship with Andrew at this time, and have no plans going forward to have.
I should have done exactly this, man. We have no professional relationship with Salvo. So, isn't it a shame they got to worry this hard? That's how hard you got to worry when you're involved in all these companies.
Any relationship with him. Our role with him is we produced the film that a lot of you guys have seen. There's been a little confusion about the Channel 5 name. That's Andrew's.
Listen to this.
Name, Channel 5. It has nothing to do with Eric and I's Channel 5 name. That was a bit of confusion for us as well.
Whoa! So there was a prior little incident with this Andrew, and I knew this Andrew was up to something. Like I said, I first saw him on H3 doing this interview. I saw a lot of little issues with this Andrew, and I don't like his content. That's what I was talking about, this man on the street where you just go up to people and make them say something stupid, and then you're crowned as this amazing guy for getting some asshole to say something stupid. I don't find any glory in man on the street. I actually think that the guy shoving a microphone in someone's face looks like the bigger asshole to me. Why are you bothering people on the street and you're so, and then you're going to cut it out to make them look retarded? I mean, they are retarded, but, it's easy. It's like what Tom Segura does watching those retards and laughing at the retards.
Did Tim get buccal fat removal?
Tim did get buccal fat removal, which I might need to start getting now that I'm bulking. I'm in my, what's his name that we love so much with the gym?
Bradley Martin.
Bradley Martin. I'm in my Bradley Martin. But you should see my thighs are like this big a piece. I'm in my Bradley Martin bulking phase using Huel. Just kidding. You should see all these scams I'm getting hit with on Instagram to bulk up now. Every fucking day. The amount of powders. So, he got buccal fat removal. It's good. But, okay, let's finish this one up, and then we'll hear Ethan's the best. Ethan's the best.
But we did produce the movie, and I feel terrible that this film now has these allegations tied to it because some very good people worked very hard on it.
See ya. Thanks a lot, Andrew.
But it's just a movie, and I want to say that we believe these women that came forward and of course, totally condemn the type of behavior that Andrew's being accused of. And I believe that's up to Andrew to address these allegations and do so openly and honestly. And I really hope he does, do that as soon as possible. And that's really all I have to say about it right now. Yeah. We're not going to talk about it during the show. That's why we didn't start with the opening. That's why Vic and Doug aren't here. We're going to try to, as Vic says, put these negative thoughts and acknowledge them and try to have fun and know that this is something that Andrew has to address. I just also finally want to say, I have a daughter, and as I read about this stuff and learn about this stuff, it's the last thing in the world that I'd want to
touching that kid.
Have happen is
Callahan
is
coming over.
What's been talked about in this with these allegations, and I have a son, and I want to make sure that as we raise him, my wife and I raise him, that we raise him to understand and respect women. And
I have a son, and the only thing that black kid knows is how to rob, steal from people on the road. Well, that's very nice. You don't want your son being Callahan. And I'm telling you, you got to start judging people by their covers more often. I saw this Callahan right away. I go, nah. This is one of those fucking nerds. He's going to be a big problem. Pile on this Callahan. His apology means nothing to me.